Hello and welcome to Kitchen Counter Crafts. If you like this video, would you please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon so that you can be notified of updates right away. So today I'm going to do just a different variation on a video that I did about a year ago. It's called the Origami Victorian Purse Puzzle, and this one is a celestial one. And so it has the sun and the moon, and I'm gonna just open it up and just show you just how pretty this is. And it's all kind of monotones. So you're gonna just see one palette of metallic colors in this. So just hang out with me as I walk you through how I made this. So if you're not familiar with my other video, I'll walk you through the purse puzzle, but not too much in detail, but it is such a cool thing. It started in the, I don't know, late 1600s, early 1700s, but it opens up to reveal kind of an inside and then another inside as well. So if you open this up, there are different types of stars in here. And then I also added verses that have to do with the sun and the moon, and I'll go through those as well. And then if you take the opposite sides and then you just pull them, there is something on the inside, and that I think is the coolest part of this whole thing. So it's just made out of one sheet of paper, and it's just, I think it's glorious. I think it's just wonderful. And so here's all the different elements of this Victorian purse puzzle, but it is just something that's really kind of fun and easy to make. And then it just folds right up like that. And this shape is also available online, and it's just called like a paper star. So you don't have to tuck it in necessarily. You can even keep it this pinwheel shape. And that is also a really neat little gift to give someone. But I really, really do love the way this whole thing comes together and makes a wonderful kind of tuck in there. So anyway, I'm going to go through this and talk about the palette that I used, and then also how to do this from scratch. So again, I'm not going to, like if I zoom through it, I'm going to just put the link down below on the Victorian purse puzzle that I made for Valentine's Day. And I just wanted to do a different variation because it's, I mean, the loved ones are really nice, but I have someone very special in my family who loves sun and moons and stars, and so I made this for her, and this is just one of those things that I've been meaning to do and finally got around to doing it. So let's get started. So the way I started off is just with a mock-up, and let me actually go through the tools first. You're going to just need an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And the tools that you're going to need is just whatever paint brushes you have handy. And that's all I was able to find today. But I did find my color palettes. And this one is a Yasutomo that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. That obviously is falling apart. This was a few years ago. It was actually very, very frustrating to use. And I thought I got a lemon. But I realized that I was not being patient enough. My paints are coming out. How do I get that back in? Anyway, oh, that's why. Haha. Just kidding. That went there. So I'm getting black in my pearly white here. So anyway, I was not being patient enough. You have to drop water on here and just let it sit so that it absorbs into the pigment cake, and then you're able to utilize these pearl colors. And this palette, I want to say, is less than 10 bucks. So don't hold me to that. But when I bought it, it was less than 10 bucks. And this is how pretty these colors are. So this is a printout that I did from the Graphics Fairy. And it's a freebie that they have. And it's faux postage stamps. If you haven't checked out the Graphics Fairy, I really encourage you to do that. But because I'm too cheap and I don't want to use up ink that is colored, I print it black and white, make some photocopies, and then I paint it for that added wow factor. So anyway, okay, that's another thing for another day. But anyway, this is a palette that you can use, but the one that I really, really loved for this video is the Kuratake, and it is Starry Colors. Very, very affordable and unbelievably great. So this one I bought year and a half ago, and you can tell it's like, looks like it's never been used, but I've actually used it. And so the golds in it are out of this world. Do you get it? Because I'm doing the celestial thing. Yeah, okay. All right, it's late, I know. You don't have to laugh, it's okay. I can't hear you anyway, so I'm gonna just pretend like you're laughing along with me. That's great. And so anyway, first thing I do is a mock-up. So anyway, you need water, a palette of colors, and really you can do any of it. I just kind of like the monotones. I think they look really great. A paintbrush, a piece of paper, and a pair of scissors. So that's what you need. So I did a mock-up and just kind of looked to see how it would be with just kind of black and white. And then I used my sepia ink fountain pen to kind of bring in the verses. So this is just black and white, and you can tell it looks pretty fabulous just on a copy paper sheet. And so I'm going to be using this as my model, and that is exactly what I used for this one as well. So I'm going to just set those there, and let's get started on this Victorian purse puzzle. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your 8.5 by 11 sheet. So let me go out a bit. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to do this fast. Like I said, there's another video that really shows in more detail, but it's okay to square up the paper by actually folding it. And you want to try and get this as precise. I don't know if you've watched my other videos, it's just never that precise. Don't worry or freak out if it's not like the best, you know, square that you could ever possibly get. But this is origami, so, you know, you gotta do your best here. So you fold it once so that you can square off your paper, and then you're going to fold it again on the diagonal in the same direction, meaning like this folding and on the same, not same direction, but on the same side of the paper. You're not flipping that paper over at all. So you're gonna try and get this. And if you have a bone folder, you can use that. If not, you know, this is a kitchen counter. I've got a butter knife somewhere, so you can do that as well. So you're going to have an X in the middle of the paper. Now you do it in thirds. And in my true fashion, no, I did not measure this. You want to measure it, knock yourself out. The way I do it is like the burrito method. I'm sure it's not called a burrito, but it looks like a burrito to me, especially with this colored paper. And I just kind of see if it all matches up and looks good. So I'm gonna press it down. There we go. That's how I do it. That's how I roll. And you're gonna burrito it on the other side too. So just pausing here for a second, you got the X on the inside, you got one trifold, and then you're gonna do another trifold or burrito on the side as well. Okay, so you're gonna get an X and 9 squares. Whoa, there we go. Okay, so here we are. So you have 9 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and an X in the middle, okay? And everything, like if you were to fold it, is kind of coming towards you, okay? Like 3D towards you. So now you're gonna flip it so that the paper would actually like sit up like this. Now this is the tricky part that the other one covers really well, but basically I go to the bottom left hand corner and you're going to match this up with the square and do like a triangle, and then you turn it clockwise, bottom left hand corner, turn it clockwise, bottom left hand corner, turn it clockwise, and bottom left-hand corner. Again, go check out my other video on the Valentine one. It's so pretty. I did it with pink paper. I think you're gonna like it. And this shape is really kind of cool and very pleasant to look at. So you've got a couple pyramids, like diamond shapes here, and then a square that emerges on the inside. All right, so this is what your paper ought to look like. So now I'm going to do the scariest and trickiest part. It's not that scary, but it is tricky. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just pushing in the sides of the middle square, okay? So that it gets defined a little bit more. So do you see it a little bit more? There's the inside square. You're going to take 2 diagonal folds that are like this, and then you are going to literally like push them towards each other. And then all of a sudden, this starts to happen, okay? So this, and then this one, you're gonna push it in more, and then all of a sudden it like collapses into this ninja star shape. All right, so this is the shape that you want to basically be starting with. So you're looking for this shape. All right, so you're gonna try to get this lined up so that you have one end towards you, and you're going to fold this up, and then to the left, you're gonna fold, and then here, and then this one gets tucked right in. And there you have it, folks. That is a Victorian purse puzzle, and now you can be just like the people in 1700s who are doing this so long ago. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is to show you how I drew all of this stuff. And we may have a part 1 and part 2 video, just depending on how long this thing goes. And I lost my pen. Don't know where my pen went. All right, there it is. So it was hanging out with my fountain pen that I also did not have for the video. You don't have to have a fountain pen. I just like the sepia color. I think it adds just another element to it. I am using a Zebra Sarasa 0.7. You don't have to use that. Just use any kind of like a gel pen. You want something that's not going to move when you put water on it. So that's the whole thing. Now you want something that has this has some chocolate. Okay, don't mind that. Actually, do mind that, because if you get chocolate on your thing, that's going to be so sad. So you want to put this in the center, and you can make it as big or as little as you want. And since this is like a little ramekin, it has these little edges that kind of make this look a little bit bumpy, and I don't really mind that so much. I like it. I like that it's not perfect. So in my world, nothing is perfect. So I'm great with that. And so now I'm going to make the moon. So it has like a half sun, half moon. And for that, I'm just going to put it kind of inside this. And then you are going to just draw. And I don't do it all the way because I just want to make sure that I'm getting a nice little curve to this part. So there's that moon part. Isn't that great? And I just realized I didn't paint this part because it was a little wonky. All right, so we will get that fixed up right away. And then for the sun, sorry, I'm not even zoomed in here. I just did little kind of squiggles, and to me they look like a little bit of a kind of stylized letter S. Okay, so there's my sun and moon, and like I said, not too worried about these not looking right. All right, so that's the first part, and we will paint all this together at the end. So I'm going to get it all drawn up first. So then you're going to open this guy up, and let's see what I have. So I have my Bible verses on this side, but I'm going to go through the middle section with you. And, you know, if you have better art than this, then please do that. I was trying to think, okay, what do I want? I want the sun and the moon, and I want the stars. So I put some stars in here, and I tried to find like the best ones I possibly could and just kind of draw them, you know, freehand here. And this one is a shooting star. So there, I'm just going to do 3. Oh, maybe I will do 5. I have, so things look they look better when they're uneven. So odd numbers, I think 4 would look a little weird, but I have 5 here, so I'm good. And then I'm going to do some diamond stars here. So I just make some curvy lines, and then I extend those lines out like that. Okay, so there's that. And then I just put some dots for other stars all around. And then this one is kind of like the star that the shepherd saw on the night Christ was born. And this one I'm literally freehanding. And then I'm just going to put a cross in the middle. I don't know why my things don't really come to a point, but that's okay. Okay, and then more stars on this side. Okay, so there's the inside. All the stars are done. And then I will come back through and do the verses because I'm using a fountain pen. And with the fountain pen, if the ink gets wet, it's going to run. So that's going to be a problem for me. So this is really the bottom, kind of the north-south here. So this is the south and orientation. If you have something that does not have an orientation like these, you can actually just turn your page whatever way you'd like. And the way you open this is, you know, you just pull on the opposite sides and it just pops open. And you can actually, if you have like a star hole punch, fill it up with stars. How cute would that be? And so somebody who's receiving it gets an extra little bonus. So if you take a look at what's going on now, if you open this up, you have just drawn 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just these little triangle pieces here that fold up into this section here. Cool, right? So anyway, that's where we're at. And so I'm going to use this again in the center. And this is going to be our center illustration, and that also has a verse in there. So I'm going to line this up as best as I can. Let's see, is it? There we go. Okay. And of course, if you have a compass or something, you know, you can always use that. I'm in the kitchen, so I'm gonna grab what I have handy. And let's see, set that off to the side because I'm done with that. All right, so there's my circle in the middle. I also have a circle up here and a circle across from that. So I have the sun, and this is just a really pretty lip gloss that I have. So just find another circle, and you know, just one that is gonna suffice. And again, if you have a compass, you can use that. So there's my sun, and we're gonna make the moon the same exact way as we did before, except that I have a crescent moon. So watch this. So you're gonna kind of turn your paper to the side, and you're only going to take a half or a portion of the circle. So I'm gonna just maybe pull it a little bit more on this side. There we go. All right, so it's kind of like a half circle, and then you're just gonna move this up just a tad so that you can get most of this curve kind of working out for you. And then I just come in and make the rest of the moon myself. And it's not exactly perfect, but you can always pull it more if you want that C shape. So there we go. And since I'm down here, I'm just going to go ahead and make some stars here. All right, so I did 3. I did 4 in that one. I don't know why. Oh, it was just my mock-up. If you get little spots on your paper, you can just make them into a little tiny dot or a star. This thing has a lot of dots. And try not to get them all in a row like I just did. So if you get them in a row, just kind of not straighten it out, but you know, change that up just a bit. All right, on this side, we've got a lovely little, almost like a cloud mobile, if you will. I saw this, I saw like a different looking cloud, and then I saw this cloud, so I kind of joined them together into my own little combination here. So these are just a whole bunch of swirlies. This is actually really fun and easy to draw, like the whole thing is. And you don't have to go with what I'm doing. You can draw your own if you want. And even mine looks, you know, a little bit different each time I draw it. It just looks different. So here you are kind of adding just a little bit of, I don't know, like an edge to this. So I'm going like thick to thin, and then taking the curly cues and making those like a little bit thicker also. There's really not a rhyme or a reason to it. I'm just kind of that one got left behind, so just thicken that up, and there's one more. All right, so there's my cloud. And then I have a centerpiece, and this has a diamond that's going to get elongated, and then a little plus sign on there. And then it has a little tiny star. You're going to get really, really good at making stars because you have to make 1,000 of them on here. And then just kind of connect it to wherever you can, like wherever there's a spot, just depending on what your cloud ended up looking like. And then here's one more. And this guy's going to be just a tiny little bit smaller. Okay, and now that's looking like one of those God's eye things. So I'm just going to add a couple little starry things to it. Starry things, you know what I mean. And then more dots. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a part 2 for the color and the painting, just because this is going to be really long if I don't. All right, now for the sun. And again, all I did were S's. So I literally take an S shape and then make it bigger. And then I do another S. And what you want is skinny on the end. There's my S. So skinny and then fat on the bottom. Again, these do not have to be perfect. Mine is not perfect. By the time you put gold paint on there and you slap some gold paint, everybody's going to be staring at the gold paint, not at your S's for your sun. Just believe me on that. It's true. So I'm making some small and some long, like the sun's rays. Just skipping ahead here. Going into that one. There. And we'll do this one a little bit kind of medium-ish. There we go. All right. So there's the sun. And then on this end, it's actually super duper easy. So you're making just a bunch of different circles. So we're going to do our planets on here. All right, so I'm going to start off with the big planet, and it's right on this little bend here. So there we go, and that's our Saturn. There's the ring. Could have gone up a little bit, and that's okay. I don't know what planet that is. No clue which this one is. But we have some of the diamond-shaped stars, and that kind of pulls all the art together and makes it look cohesive. So I just put 2 on that one. I'm going to do another little tiny one here. Again, trying to do 3s. And then I'm doing tiny little open circles. I don't know if I'll paint those. I don't remember if I painted them on the other one. Don't remember. And then, let's see. I have tiny little stars, like actual asterisk type of stars here. It's funny, I didn't really use any of those on the other ones. They're so easy and fast to make. And they look so pretty. So I'm just making sure they have 5 points and more dots. All right, so there's our main corners are all done. And now we're going to do the center part. So in the center, I'm going to be writing a verse, and this is what it looks like. So I have some vines on this side, vines on that side, dashes, and a couple stars, okay? So I'm going to start with the diamond star in the center. Why? I don't know why. Just and then the little stars here. And I made this one a shooting one. All right. So I've got my 3 stars already done. On this side, I have 2 vines. So I have a broken line. I didn't do that on purpose, but since I do, I'm going to just go ahead and curve all of these lines in like that. And then have this one going up. And all I'm doing is this. So you just pull your line and put a circle on the top. All right, so that's all done. Super fast. And this kind of art really does not take much at all. And then I also have 2 vines going this way with like a daisy type of flower. And then it has just some leaves and these leaves are like V's here. Can you even see what I'm doing? There we go. I'm gonna just fold this so you can see that. There we go. No, you can't see it when it's up. Okay, there, maybe. All right, so here's a broken spot. So I'm just gonna add another daisy flower down here. And then this one will be coming in this direction because that one went to the top that way. It doesn't have to be like that. I'm just kind of drawing it this way. And then I'm going to add just a little kind of I don't know what that's called, like a little embellishment, I guess. And then I think I'll do the same here. That just looks cute in my opinion. And then I think I'm going to do some leaves here too. Just some random 3-point leaves. There we go. That looks good. All right, so I've got some flowers on that side, flowers on that side. I've got my stars in the center, and I'm going to add some dots around them. So we are being consistent again. And now the rays. So the rays are just little tiny dots. And I'm starting at the center, and I'm going to work out, although this here is going to give me a little bit of a guide. It's going to the corners straight. So now I know like how my rays are going to go. Okay, that's it. So just signed it and I am done. So you can actually stop right here. I just think it's really nice to have some sort of a sentiment or something. You can just fold this guy up and give it to someone. But why don't you join me for the next video where we add gold paint to it, because it is so, so beautiful. So join me for the next one when we put some watercolors and then also use some of the lovely fountain pen ink to make this really look like something special. So until next time, bye.